Hey Betty Boop, looks like you're dressed just for this review.
What are we reviewing today?
We're reviewing the Snowball Showdown card game.
The Elf Snowball Showdown card game. Boop, boop, boop.
This game is very similar to another game we've done review on before, which is also throwing stuff. That game is about throwing pumpkins. Please check out that review on that game. Let's get started with this one. It goes from 3 to 6 players. I think it's best with more than 3, so I'd say closer to 6 would be your ideal, just for the fact that it feels sometimes a little one-sided, or it can feel a little kind of repetitive or something. But at the same time, when you get closer to 3 players, the game is a lot faster. So it depends on if you want to go for speed or a little more chaotic funness. People can get knocked up pretty quickly, especially with less players, because then it can seem like people are teaming up against each other. It's a pretty straightforward game. Let's look at the components and let's see how the game plays. Setup is really easy. You want to make a large draw pile. And I do mean a pile, not a deck. So you can either shuffle it, then spread it out, or you can just kind of just mix it up really quickly. You want to place the hit cards. These hit cards are just to let you know how many hits you've taken. It doesn't matter what's on the picture of it, so you can choose whatever one you want, really. You don't really need the hit cards to be really a deck, because it really doesn't matter what the picture's on them. But if you prefer to have it a deck and just draw from the top, that's fine. You want to leave room for a discard pile. Now this, you do want it stacked on top of each other, just to save space. Ooh, the Ice Princess herself came here to play with the Snowball Showdown game. What the? Elsa, what big snowballs you have. The better to fight with. Each player draws 4 snowball cards and keeps them hidden from their opponents. Elsa, don't you think it's a little cheating? It's a good card holder, isn't it? The person with the thrower token in front of them is the thrower. They choose whatever player they want to throw snowballs at. There's 4 colors: red, yellow, blue, and green. And each one has the numbers either 1, 2, or 3 in them. Place the snowball cards in front of the player they're throwing at. These cards will have to have the same color. You can just place 1, or you can place multiple in front of them. If you don't have any snowball cards to throw at someone, you just draw cards until you do have a card to throw at someone. Now the defender will roll the die, and depending on what the die shows, depends on what actions will be taken. So the defender could roll a dodge. This will have the elf face on it. Either you dodge left or dodge right. Then that player, to whatever direction it's facing, becomes the new defender. They will start by rolling the die and continue until the defender rolls a draw symbol. The defender rolls a draw symbol. The number of cards shown on the die will indicate how many cards they'll draw before they defend. Now the defender must react. They can play the buddy card. If the defender plays a buddy card, they can choose to take a hit and give a hit to the thrower, which ends their turn, or dodge by having the player to their left or right, as indicated on the card, become the defender. That player will go back to rolling the die and playing according to what the die says. Here's an example of them throwing cards at you. Now you have to play the same color cards. If you're equal to, you block it. No one takes a hit. Now if you're higher, the thrower takes a hit. So the rules doesn't say if you're lower, so I guess if you can't play high enough, then just keep the cards that you have and then just take a hit. I wouldn't recommend just wasting your cards to say, oh, well, I can only defend with the 1 and you're throwing like a 2 or a 3 at me. You might as well just play none and just take the hit, because there's nowhere in the rule says you can't. At the end of the turn, place the cards played this turn into a discard pile. The current thrower passes the thrower token clockwise to the next player, who will now become the new thrower. Throwers cannot defend against their own snowballs. If a dodged snowball returns to them, the thrower does not roll the die and must take the hit card. Getting knocked out, the player that receives the 3rd hit card, they are knocked out and must immediately discard their hand and their hit cards and cannot win the game. But on their turn, they draw 1 snowball card and give it to the player. So unlike some other games, when you lose, you're just not like completely out of the game. In this case, you can purposely try to help one player win over the other by giving them cards. Now, we showed the cards that had pictures of them, of snowballs, and I said you can have a match, but there's also cards like wild cards. Cards with 4 colors are wild. They can be played by the thrower or the defender, and may be alone or with other cards. If alone, the player must select a color that it is. Wild cards cannot be played in place of buddy cards. 3 cards, you're out, Betty Boop. I'm sorry. Boop, boop, boop. End of the game, the last player left standing wins the fight. If only 2 players are left in the game, a dodge simply stops any throw of snowballs and ends the turn. If a player hand is empty, they draw 2 cards from the draw pile. If the draw pile is empty, shuffle this card pile and create a new draw pile. Hey Rodan, I'm ready for this snowball fight you talked about. Godzilla, I meant this Elf Snowball Showdown card game fight. Oh man, what am I going to do with Snowball now? It's getting heavy and melty. Well, you can always build a snowman. Ah, who's that? Ah, it's a talking snowman, kill it! And it's a very simple game, pretty simple rules. As I said, it's just a reskin of another game we already own and reviewed. This game could be a game around luck. Now, it's luck of the draw, luck of the roll. So I don't think it's a game necessarily you would see yourself pulling out all the time, especially with a smaller group. This might be just a little more of a fun party game to play, just get warmed up, or just something quick you want to play in between games, or something you just want to play quickly to end the night. It's not a bad game, it's a simple game. It can be fun, but to other people it may not be challenging enough or frustrating because it's around luck and is not as much strategy as some people may like, which, as I said, could make it easier for just a group of people just have a little bit of fun with throwing snowballs. Check out the game if you want to give it a try. Please leave a comment, like, or subscribe if you did, or if you didn't. We have plenty of things to check out on our channel, not just games, but please look forward to the other games of 12 Days of Christmas. Thank you. Elsa, what mighty big snowballs you have? Oh, they're all natural snow. Let me feel. Oh yeah, they're definitely snow. Hee hee.